All right, welcome to ApexInvesting.com. My name is Daryl Martin. This is a Be the Sniper, Be the Target webinar series. It's your choice whether you're the sniper or the target in trading, and you have to make that choice. So make it today. And check us out for free at ApexInvesting.com/bootcamp. Again, that's ApexInvesting.com/bootcamp to get free 30 days access with no credit card. Now, of course, we got to throw up disclosures. If there's risk involved in investing, you should know that there's risk involved in investing. Don't do anything that you don't know what you're doing. All right. First thing I want to bring up is just prayers. We have members in Texas and Louisiana right now in the path of the hurricane. Some are having to evacuate. So just to remind everybody to please keep them in your prayers. I know we have people that live in Galveston and Houston and Louisiana and all over the place. So just keep them in your prayers. Update on our back to school drive. We raised $1,000 last week, which was enough for school supplies and backpacks for 50 kids whose parents were out of work and didn't have the ability to pay for school supplies. So very, very cool. That was Apex members giving to help out a bunch of kids. And they walked into school with big smiles on their faces and backpacks and everything, and didn't feel like, they were, less than because they didn't have stuff. So it was very awesome that we were able to help everybody out. So congrats to y'all. We are blessed to be a blessing. We got traders rocking it. This is just from the day today. Roger 4-0, going to go finish reading Trading in the Zone. TZ, yep, I'm up 2-0 and have to leave for a couple hours. Saventia, so far 3-1 with Markers Plus, just joined us. James, got 3-0 in pre-market. Chris, up $143. Jaish got 120 ticks. Jeff, 3-0. Richard, up 41 ticks. And Shirley, I want to bring up Shirley. It's a pretty cool story. She got her Lulu $50,000 account. Her son actually got his $300,000 funded account. She just joined us 9 weeks ago. Literally just started 9 weeks ago. And she got in there and she applied herself and she made it happen. And within 9 weeks, she learned everything, put it into practice, and got funded. So, pretty sweet. I mean, that's just awesome. Today, she got funded with her $50,000 account. So, or met her requirement for a $50,000 account. Some tools to help you. I want to remind you, we have gold for silver, titanium for gold, and platinum for titanium good through Labor Day weekend. Then the prices go back to normal. So, if you have free time and you're waiting to sign up, go ahead and sign up and we'll give you the free time. Okay, just submit a ticket saying, hey, I had 2 more weeks left on my $1 trial, or 3 weeks left on my free trial, whatever, and we'll add that to your renewal date. Okay. And then automation, we got people using automation, loving it. ApexInvesting.com/automate. And if you are having trouble with making bad decisions, okay, mind mastery. ApexInvesting.com/mind mastery. The hardest part of this game is the mental aspect, and I think it's the best course that we have, and I highly suggest that you get it if you haven't already. Also, you get access to a Skype room where you can share your frustrations, your solutions, your victories, and get help and help others out. So definitely a very cool course that you want to check out. A reminder, we do giveaways each month. So make sure you joined our Facebook group. It's Apex Investing, if you just search it in Facebook. Invite friends, like and comment. Like our Facebook page and comment and share. Every interaction you do gets an entry into a free giveaway of a free month of Apex Elite that we do each month. And we are giving away one next week. So make sure you go ahead and sign up for that. I wanted to give y'all a Lulu funding tip. I've told this to a lot of people that I got funded. We've had hundreds of people get funded by now. A lot of people tend to sort of be aggressive when they get funded. And you got to, they sort of forget that maybe they had to go through a reset or two. Remember, you don't want to go a reset because once you get funded, that means you're all the way back to evaluation, right? You got to pay for a full evaluation again. Your goal once you get funded is to take it slow and let it build slowly. If you're trading 2 contracts, trade 1. If you're trading 1, trade, 3 or 5 micros. But take it slower once you're funded. And that's just a big deal because you don't want to blow it, right? So just take it slower. You're not under a time crunch anymore. Yeah, you want to make a lot of money. But, I mean, if you check out how, we've showed the 3-0 strategy every day and how that compounds, it'll build up. Okay? Let it build up. Get that space. So that way you don't go in and just blow the account in, a few days. So, because you can't just reset it and start all over. You got to reset and start all over way back to evaluation. So, take it slow. You got the accomplishment. You got it there. I don't want you to have to do it again. I know a few of you have told me that you've had to do that. I've done that before, okay? I've blown a funded account before. It's not fun. You got to start over again. So, just take it slow, all right? So, the topic for tonight is we're going to go over simplicity and sniper. How does that sound? Y'all up for that? Sweet. Okay, well, the first thing I wanted to bring up was a trade that I called out in the room tonight. And it was on NQ. But who knows what this big green line over here means on ES? What does that big green line mean? It's not high of the day. It's the all-time high. There also happened to be a flux and a dynamic magnet there as well, and a Paul. Okay? Well, do you think if we got a simplicity short off that might be a good thing? Even though we're trading NASDAQ, do you think if we got a simplicity short when ES hit its all-time high, that would be a level to consider? Yeah, definitely. So, we had some longs and some shorts we called out, but this was a short right here. And we got in right there. And it took us down, and if you held on to it to the last second there, 5 3/4 points, not bad. Okay? There was a great long that started off the day. So right here at the very beginning, went up. That one made a little bit, 3.5 points. But then we had another one. We had a reset when it went red. And remember, what we do is when both lines are green and angling up, when the high is broken, we take it. We put our stop. I mean, this is a really low stop. And then we trail it once the solid line passes it. We're trailing it until it closes below it. So, got that one for 9 1/4 points. Okay. Now, we also happen to take a short right here. All right. So, we had this short. It was an early short. And we got out, like right here, instead of up there. Can everybody else see the chart? Somebody saying they can't see it? Okay. We need to log out and log back in. So this one, what do you think was our reason for... I'm going to go over this one down here in a second. What do you think our reason was for getting out long right here? Getting out of this long? ES all-time high. That's right. So often ES and NQ correlate, and if there's a block on one, it'll block the other. Now, how did we know to get out over here? Well, if I go and pull over the NASDAQ chart, let me go ahead and make this where you can see both at the same time. That seemed to work well last week. And then I'm going to put my global crosshair. So we're going down, and we came into double mini magnets. And so we literally had a target that I called out in the room, and I said, let's take profit when we hit the double mini magnets. You're welcome, Grant. He was in there. So we had a simplicity short against the all-time high of ES. But then instead of taking that short there, we got to take it right down here. And it finally actually hit here. So when I called it, and I was like, I'm out. We're right there. Okay? So there was a dev level down there, but that's what we based the trade on. Does that make sense how I looked at that simplicity short? I looked at ES at the all-time high. I looked at a target like double mini magnets or stacks or flux or whatever, and then made that my target for getting out. Does everybody see that? Because I know some of the challenge that some of y'all are having is getting out of the trade, right? Anybody having that challenge? Getting in, but getting out? That's exactly what we're talking about, Matthew. Yeah, just one more tick. If I can just get one more tick. And I called it. I'm like, hey, let's get out. We're close. There's no reason to wait on another point or so. Market's not exact. It was hesitating. I was like, let's hop out. So don't try to ride a trade. I mean, yeah, there's some of those trades that are just going to go. But, I mean, you can grab 5 points, 10 points here and there. Why not? So do you trail with the dotted line? Nope. Once we enter the trade, our stop is at if it closes above the solid line. And then once the solid line goes below our entry, our stop is if it closes above the solid line again. That's how we're trailing it. And then I will say in the room, y'all heard me call some trades today where I said tighten your stop. That means put a hard stop right at the dotted line. So that's when we would use the dotted line. So which bar was the entry on? So right here we had 2 red lines angling down. So we'd have got in 1 tick below that. It has to break it on the very next bar. 1 tick below that, we got in. So we got in on this bar right here when it broke 1 tick below that bar. And again, if it doesn't happen on the next bar, then we're waiting again for 2 down lines and it to break the low. That make sense, Brett? So that reversal bar was the setup bar, and then a tick below that, the down bar there is the one that broke the low. So yeah, you get in by some, you're up some, you lose it, and just don't go for it. Don't worry about being greedy. Yes, there are points where you're going to get 20 and 30 points, and that's when it's really clear and there's nothing in the way. Okay? But when there's stuff in the way, you're going to want to be, a little more cautious. Right? I mean, it just sort of makes sense. So if I back up and look at this one, this long right here, like we had right there, we had about 5 points to the dev, so I'd tighten up, and then it just kept going. And there was nothing, but after that dev, there was literally nothing in the way. Yeah, I'll show you some of those examples. So here, let's scroll back to the morning. So a lot of bars for a little bit of time. All right. So all right, 9:35. All right, market was moving really fast first. Okay? So this is right on the open. Things were going insane. Is this the time that you want to trade? Like the lines are lining up, right? If we go over here, they're lining up. But I mean, it's just flying back and forth, back and I mean, it's just you can tell everything. I mean, it's just jumping like crazy. So is this the time to do it? No, stay out. Wait. Let it calm down. Okay? So it's going. Still flying. I mean, the market is going very, very fast. Understand, this is literally like 10 seconds. You can't get in and get out fast enough. So sometimes it takes 5 minutes, sometimes it takes 15 minutes for the market to start, behaving. We call it throwing a temper tantrum when you get all these wicks everywhere. All right, so we get about 15 minutes into the day. Don't go backwards on me. There we go. All right, so somebody asked, can I show a reset? So here would be an example of a reset. Like you get say you had a long, okay? And let's just back up. We'll look at some of these. I mean, they went really fast, but they're like, if you were crazy enough, let's just put it this way: if you were crazy enough to take this, where would you get out? Let's just focus on that first. So up, up, it's above the dynamic magnet. Right there, they're both angling up. Where would you get out of the trade? The wall. Right there, boom. Or at least tighten your stop up to the dotted line. But yeah, probably just get out at the wall. Okay, there's no short. Now, see when both lines turn red and then it turns green again, that's a reset. Okay? If I stretch it too much, I can't show you what I'm trying to show you. So when both lines turn red and then it... Sorry, I'm just trying to get to be on the same point. Both lines turn red and then it turns green again, that's a reset. Okay? Now notice this doesn't give us a long because it's not breaking the highs. Right there, not breaking it, not breaking it. Goes red. Angling down. Finally angling up. How do you feel about this trade right here? This long entry. You're in between double walls. When there are double walls so close to each other, that is a good time to avoid a simplicity entry. Okay? So there is an example of a simplicity entry. Somebody asked, can you show some examples of trades you wouldn't take? That would be an example. Okay? Because you got these double walls right here. Now, we get down here, we actually get an early entry. If we take that, what is our target? Yeah, dynamic magnet. You could tighten it up, you would have got knocked out, but dynamic magnet. You got in, you got 5 points. Maybe 4. Is that okay? Is it okay to make 16 ticks on a trade? Could you have made more if you stayed in and rode the wild ride? Early entry is when the solid line is underneath the dotted line. So right there. So, yeah, I mean, it's not just scary. Like, is it worth it? It's not just what you make in trading. It's really not about what you make. It's about what you keep. Who agrees with that statement? We've all had winning trades. But it's what you give back that hurts. Alan's like, say that 10 times. It's not what you make, it's what you keep. One of the lessons I gave tonight in the room, one of the traders took a trade, and I'm like, hey, you're late on that entry. You shouldn't be in this trade right now. You need to get out. And he's like, well, how to move past this? I'm like, no, you're late on the entry. You need to just get out and cut your loss. Okay? And he did cut his loss. He went ahead and hopped out of the trade, and then the trade flew really far against him. And I said, your first loss is your best loss. Okay? And one of the questions I teach or you to ask yourself in mind mastery is, how will I feel if I do this? If I get in this trade and I take profit there, how will I feel if it goes down to here? Well, how will I feel if it reverses all the way back up? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and avoid the pain and just take the profit. And if you will ask yourself, how do I feel? How will I feel if I take this trade? How will I feel if I hold on to it instead of just take my profit? How will I feel if I just take my stop now like I should versus if I don't and I start praying that it will go in my direction? Sort of like sports. You got people praying on both sides, right? If you're praying about a trade for it to go in your direction, should you be in the trade? If you're that stressed about it? Now, who in here has been in a trade where you're praying about it to go in your direction, all the while it's going against you and you missed out on another great trade? Because your mind was so wrapped up in wanting that trade to win, you could not even see all the money you were giving away that you could have made. So when your loss is there, just take it, because then your mind gets to relax, win or loss, and see the next trade. But if you just hold on to the dang freaking trade, your mind is going to come like, you're going to be deer in the headlights, you're going to start praying, you're going to be bumping on the top of the monitor for it to go down, you're going to do some little weird thing, like if I put my mouse here, maybe it'll go down. Like, there's all sorts of weird things we do as traders. Am I right? I mean, I've literally been like, okay, maybe if I leave it here, it'll come down to this point. Like, has anybody else done that, or is that just me? It's like, if I have it up here, it's going to attract it. So I wanted to attract it down here to my mouse. As if it has any impact at all on the market. And I'm guilty of it too. So exactly, John says you're so focused, hoping your losing trade will come back in your favor, instead of just realizing it's a great short and that you should be in it. But you can't, because you're stuck worrying about the loser. And this is the stuff I talk about in Mind Mastery. The fear of missing out. Man, but I could make like 10 more points and just 10 more. Man, that'd make my day. Or that'd make my account. Or that'd get me funded. Or that'd get me back to break even. Yeah, you end up praying for the good trade that you're not even in to lose. You're like, I sort of feel bad, but I hope everybody else who was in this long loses, because I really need it to go short. Anybody else done that before? Like, I know it's long, but I really need it to go short. And I say all this stuff just to let you know you're not on your own. If y'all saw how many yeses, me, get out of my head all too often, like, you'd be very encouraged. I wish I could show it on the thing, but it didn't show the questions if I put it over there. But, like, there's so many people right now saying, I had the exact same issue. So you got to realize that exists ahead of time. Before you get in the trade, you're going to be tempted to not take your profit. You're going to be tempted to not take your stop. Know that that's going to happen ahead of time so you can emotionally be ready to do what you need to do. You got to fight the fire with fire. Like, this will be my emotion. This is what I'm going to do despite my emotions. Jeremiah says he made 2 bad trades today. He walked away for 30 minutes, got his head right, came back, and ended up making $400. Sometimes you just got to step away. One of our best traders, Craig, if he makes a mistake, he stops trading. He won't trade for the rest of the day. How many of you would stop making mistakes if you made yourself stop trading for the rest of the day when you made a mistake? Because you want to keep trading, don't you? So, if I make a mistake, I got to stop. Well, I don't want to make a mistake. Because I don't want to stop. And it's really wise, because what happens when you make a mistake? Are you prone to make another one to make up for it? Start doubling your contracts, tripling your contracts. Heart starts beating, you get pissed off. You're not even reading the market well. You just start looking at you're like, I think it's going to go down now. I'm just going to get in and go short. I'm going to double down, triple down. Perry thinks I have a video camera on him. So, I mean, that's why I tell you Mind Mastery is the most important course we have, because it focuses on all these issues. All right, so we get along right here. Where both are angling up. Do we get in on the next bar or not? Does that bar break that bar's high? Right here is the setup bar. Does the next bar break the bar's high? No, it does not. That's the high of the next bar right there. So here's the high of this bar. There's the high of that bar. Now, on the next bar, can we get in? I do count the wick. Let me zoom in for you. That bar did not break that bar's high. But this is the high. This is not the high. This is the close. This is the high of the bar. Like, this is not the close, this is a low. This is not the low, it is the close. It's the open. Now on this bar, we have two up angles. We get in a tick above the high of that bar. Is the red bar the setup bar? Nope. Because look, you got your angling down. You see that, Ronald? So angling up here, a setup bar, but that's not an entry because it didn't break. This one becomes a setup bar, and then it breaks. Now what are we going to target on this trade? Go right to the wall. Would you be glad you did? Yeah, you would have made, let's see here. Not bad. Almost 13 points. Right? So let's back out a little bit again. Let's keep looking. All right, let's check this one out. Because they don't all go perfect. That's an early entry. Do you see it? Where you have both. Somebody said, can you go over an early entry? See where the solid line is below the dotted line? That's the setup bar. And then it goes down, 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 down. And you get close. How close do you get? You're literally like about 2.5 points away from the low. Okay? Do you see anything on the sniper chart that might say get out? Do you see a level on the sniper chart? ZOI was right there. Right before the wall. If you get early entry, you can enter a trade. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing I don't like about this trade. The early entry is just like a regular entry. It just happens to be on the very first turn. Yeah, so you'd wait on the break, and it breaks on this bar, and this is actually the bar you get in on. What do you think I may not like about this entry? One, you got a huge stop. That's something. You got 20-point stop. Too close to target? Yeah, but I mean, I'll take 4 or 5 points. It's a large bar. That's it. You got it. So Marion got it. It's a huge bar. It's already made its big move down. Do y'all see that? Like, it's made a huge move already. I don't like getting in on those. They have a tendency to pull back. Have you noticed that big bars have a tendency to have a pullback right after them? Like Vitch noticed. Does anybody else notice that? Big, like really big bars have a tendency to pull back. You can go back and just look at, I mean, here's this huge up bar, and what does it do? It pulls back, right? Down bar, went a little further. That ZOI could have been your clue to get out, but really, I mean, you already moved so far. Like, that was the move you wanted. I mean, that was like 20 points of the move. But does that help y'all seeing that? Like those, like watch out for big bars. So we go over here. We finally get a long right here. It's not a big bar, but has it already made a big up move? So has it really already made the move that you were hoping for? Like, an entry down here would have been nice. But entry all the way up here, because you were going to go for the mini magnet. It's already all the way up here. Like 2/3, almost 3/4 of the way to your profit target. I mean, it would have worked. But yeah, it's sort of like trading into the top of a range. And the trade did take off. I mean, it went. But you probably would have got out there anyway because you got all of this going on. All these walls. So, I mean, if it went up there and you tightened with the dotted line, yeah, it could have been good. But, I mean, you'd already moved so far. And your stop, I mean, is 20 points away. So you're going to hop in a trade that's 20 points away so you can make, 5 points. If it's already made a big move like that, like it's just like almost like a big bar. I mean, you're so far to your profit goal already, and it's already taken up so much of your profit goal by the time it finally lined up. So from here to here, it's just not worth it. So now we're going over here. We get a down close down here. If we take it, where are we targeting? Dynamic magnet would be our main target, but you also see that paw. And that's still a pretty hefty stop. But it goes down and it hits it. But the thing is, the big difference on this one is we had a big profit goal. Up here, we didn't have a big profit goal. Wasn't worth the risk to reward. It's like right there. And there's 15 points. And it was coming right off of a wall. Then flew down. All right, now we got a long right here above the wall. Actually, we got one right there that the entry is above the wall. So I like that because the entry isn't into the wall, it's above the wall. Where are you going to target? Your next wall. Now, if you want to go for more, and I want to emphasize if the dotted line is close. If it's way down here, it doesn't do you any good. But if it's close, you could try to trail it, and you may make some more. So on that one, got in right here. We'll just say we got out at the wall and made almost 10 points. I mean, would that morning right there been good for you? 12 points, 15 points, 10 points. I mean, most of y'all, wouldn't you have hit your 3 net ticks and done just on the very first trade? But you had to be picky on it, right? Notice this one right here too. One big thing about it is, we go down here, we don't have much room. But anyways, that's why we focused on the long trade there. It was crazy before that. So now we go down here. We got a short. But big bar. Right? Same scenario we had before. Big bar. Oh, actually I went over that one. That's why it's the same scenario. Okay. Let's see here. All right, we get a early entry short. See, we have the red line below the dotted line, but we don't break the low. So there's no entry. That low does not break the previous bar's low. So we keep going, we keep going. Finally, we get an entry over here. Right here. It's not an early entry because the next bar didn't break the low. You see that? These two bars have the exact same low. Or it would have been an early entry, but it did not break the low. So if you go over here, you finally get an entry. And let's just say we took it. Actually, nope, it didn't break the low, did it? So we didn't take it. Didn't break the low there. Oh, there we got one and it break. No, yeah, barely broke the low. So let's say you took that one. Okay, let's just say we took it. So we can have a loss on here. Alright. That's going to put your stop up here. That one's going to hurt. Now this is why I tell you to do what? What did I tell you to trade on these? Did I tell you to trade full-size contracts? Trade micros. Now, a lot of y'all would be tempted to keep trading and you would have got that loss. But what if you would have stopped when you got the 12-point move for the day? I mean, it feels weird, right? But, I mean, is it okay to go in and take a trade and be done in 2 minutes? Like, you sit there for like 30 minutes with nothing, then in 2 minutes you take a trade, you make 12 points, and you're done. Does that meet the 30-tick goal? But how many of you want to just keep trading? And then you run into a loser. Okay, so one of the big things that I teach, I send out these things to a lot of people. A lot of y'all have them, some of y'all don't, but where you mark off, like when you get 3, like every time you get 10 ticks, you mark it off. But the biggest piece is, I challenge every one of you right now to get on Amazon.com and order a good old-fashioned calendar. Could be whatever you want. Could be puppies, kittens, sexy firemen, whatever does it for you, okay? Order a calendar. Put it on your wall away from your trade desk. And when you hit 30 plus ticks, or you're close to it, 25, whatever, okay? Get up and put an X on that day. It makes you get up from your computer, and you got to put it on global sim mode, get up and put an X on it. So going for 10 ticks on each scalp and stopping at net 3, that is 30 ticks. If I get 30 plus ticks in one simplicity trade, it's the same thing. I just stop. It doesn't actually have to be 3 trades. Yeah, save on commissions and save on giving it back. Remember, it's not what would we start off with? It's not what you make, it's what you keep. Keep it. I know, you just want to sit there and you just want to trade and trade and trade. Nope, Lulu valuation. If you hit 30 ticks, Todd, you're done. If you do it in one trade, you're done. Even on an evaluation. So it's not what you make, it's what you keep. Don't give it back. How many of y'all, just being honest, would be further along in trading if you would just stop when you're up 30 ticks? Like everybody answer. Like everyone. How many of you would be further along if you just stop when you're up 30 ticks? Okay, I'm going to drag this over for the recording. I want everybody to answer, okay? Like, look at this. I'd be funded by now. Agreed. Yup, me. Would be much further. I'm on my 3rd funded account. He'll show on the recording, John. If you've never been up 30 ticks, then you haven't been sharing charts. And you're definitely not taking advantage of simplicity. You know, another trader says I could have avoided a reset that way. So, and I want to bring this up. Somebody has said, hey, I've never been up 30 ticks. Are you sharing charts? Or are you assuming that you watched videos, so now you're the master of everything and you understand all your mistakes? Like, I know what mistake I made. We had somebody today who posted a mistake they made, and they actually made another mistake that I showed them. So they actually made 2 mistakes, but they didn't know about the second one. So remember, the up 3 is the spirit of the rule, not the letter of the rule, rule, right? It's about stopping and not giving it back. Like, don't get too literal on it. How many of you would be up more if you would be sharing your charts on a daily basis? So if you were getting help and feedback on your charts, would you be better if you had done that every day for the last month? I mean, Randy literally just said, I'm not saying you're never wrong, because of course I do call losing trades, but if someone just takes every trade you call, you give us 30 ticks. And some of y'all are shy. Is that right? You don't want to look bad? You don't want to ask stupid questions? I'm just being real. Like, that's why you don't do it? Grant, you can post a chart of simplicity from the elite room. So some of you are introverts. What about your mentor rooms? Are you taking advantage of that? David, I haven't seen any trades from you, so repost it if you're not getting feedback. So take advantage of your mentor rooms. Everybody that's on a dollar trial or above gets access to a mentor room. If you haven't got it, then Skype Lori and she'll get you in. And if you have a mentor room that's not giving you feedback, let Lori know and she'll put you in a different room. Okay? I mean, just tell her, hey, I'm not getting any feedback in my mentor room. Can I get in a different mentor room? And she'll move you. Because some of the rooms are not active and some of them are insanely active. But I want to challenge all of you to get out of your comfort zone. I mean, when trades are posted in the elite room in the morning, do I review them? Do I talk about them? Do I give feedback? Or do I ignore them? I review them. I give feedback. So I'm going to call out all you introverts, okay? And I understand how it can be shy because you got all these people like, I got 3-0, I'm done. I got 3-0, I just got 140 ticks. You're like, I don't want to be the guy that's posting the losers. I'm going to challenge you to get out of your comfort zone and be more concerned about being profitable than looking good. It's like, oh, well, they got 3-0 and they got 4-0 and they got 150 ticks and that guy's up $200 and I feel stupid, so I'm just not going to put it up. I'd rather just lose money. I know I'm paying for a membership, but I'd rather just lose money because I don't want to look bad. I'm in this. I'm paying membership and I'm sitting in front of a chart all day so I can look good. I mean, that's what you're saying. I'd rather lose money and pay for a membership than make money. You're paying for it. Use it. We want to help you. Can some of y'all step out of your comfort zone and start posting? Yeah, you get Mark says sometimes I feel like I could just figure it out myself. Maybe you can, but you know what? Two things. One, maybe there's something that you can't figure out because you don't know the assumption you're making. And maybe other people will learn because you posted your trade, and so they'll learn a mistake they made. One says, I like to post the good ones and then disappear when I make the bad ones. You think you might be more accountable when you make your stupid mistakes? What if you had to post every good trade and every bad trade? If you're going to take a trade, you got to post it. If you're afraid to post your trade, you're afraid to win. So I'm just trying to set this in and make this really real for you. Think about Thomas Edison. A reporter asked him, how did it feel when you failed 1,000 times trying to make the light bulb? What'd he say? I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. Great success is built on failure, frustration, even catastrophe. You learn from your mistakes and you succeed. But if you don't learn, that's on you. I see people cancel every day that I've never heard from. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you, that somebody who cancels because you were too afraid to post your trades and get help. Because you felt like you knew everything and would figure it out yourself. Because you're too shy. Because you know it all. Don't let that be you. So do y'all think y'all can start taking profits and taking losses like you're supposed to? Got levels, go for them. Don't just take every trade if the thing's already flown huge. Like, avoid it. Put the things into practice. I had one trader said that every trade I choose is a losing trade. I'm like, well, where's your charts? I still haven't got one from him. So late entry, Jeff talks about that being a problem. Call yourself out. If you're in the Mind Mastery group, that's a great place because they talk about everything in there. I mean, every 30 seconds there's going to be a new Simplicity bar. As far as sniper entries, I mean, you got automation to handle that. All right. So let's wrap it up. I want to remind you again, tools to help you out. We got discounts, gold for silver, titanium for gold, platinum for titanium, good through Labor Day when the prices go back up. If you have any free time, free trial time, $1 trial time, and you're waiting, don't wait. Just sign up and we'll add the time on for you. Okay? For your automation, check out apexinvesting.com/automate. And if you're facing these mental challenges, hop into Mind Mastery, apexinvesting.com/Mind Mastery. And don't forget, join our Facebook group and our Facebook page. Every time you like, comment, share, invite a friend, you get added to the drawing for the free giveaway. And I'm giving away a free month next week. So, I challenge y'all this coming week, between now and the next webinar, be the sniper. The sniper is not afraid to show their mistakes and get better. The target is. The sniper has a target. They don't just hold on to trades. If something goes wrong, they get out of there. The target doesn't. If a sniper misses their shot, they better disappear quick, or else they're going to become the target. John asked a question I want to answer real quick. Just got his account funded. What data plan does he need? You just need level 1 data for the CME group. And then for simplicity, check out section 16. You need a separate data feed with IQ feed or Kinetic. Anthony asked, if I'm doing micros, how long will it take to qualify for the $3,000 goal? Who cares as long as you qualify? If you're making 15 points, and let's say you have, 5 contracts on, you made $75. So let's say it takes you 2 months versus resetting 10 times. Is that worth it? Remember, you can also do your snipers with your full size. All right, y'all get a lot out tonight for simplicity and for the mind game. Awesome. All right, well, y'all rock it tomorrow. Take your targets, take your losses, post your charts. And remember the things I taught you about simplicity tonight, okay? Y'all be snipers. Let's let all the other traders out there be targets. All right, y'all have a good night.